Welcome back, T-Squad. Today we're diving into a cold case that haunted Fort Worth, Texas for nearly 5 decades. It's the story of a young cheerleader named Carla Walker. Carla disappeared after a Valentine's dance in 1974. She was just 17 years old. For 47 years, her murder went unsolved. Then, modern DNA science cracked the case wide open. This is the Carla Walker story. Let's rewind to February 17, 1974. Carla Yan Walker was out on a date. She and her boyfriend, Rodney McCoy, had just left a Valentine's dance. They parked at a local bowling alley so Carla could use the restroom. That's when a man attacked them both. He pistol-whipped Rodney until he blacked out. He pulled the trigger 3 times, but the gun misfired. Carla screamed and begged him to spare Rodney. She even agreed to go with the attacker. Those were her last words. When Rodney came to, Carla was gone. He raced home bleeding, knocking on her family's door in the middle of the night. Carla's father grabbed a gun and rushed back to the parking lot. But both Carla and her attacker had vanished. 3 days later, Carla's body was found in a drainage ditch outside town. She had been beaten, tortured, raped, and strangled. She had needle marks from morphine, likely used to knock her out. The location of her body suggested the killer knew the area well. Police collected evidence at the bowling alley. They found Carla's purse and an empty magazine clip from a .22 caliber Ruger pistol. Investigators traced local owners of 22 Rugers and zeroed in on a man named Glen McCurley. In 1974, he lived less than 2 miles from Carla's home and had a prior car theft conviction. When questioned, McCurley claimed his Ruger had been stolen from his truck. He even passed a polygraph test. With no proof otherwise, he was released and remained only a person of interest. Detectives pursued other leads. They cleared Rodney after 2 polygraph tests and an alibi check. They followed hundreds of tips over the years. Composite sketches were drawn. Nothing stuck. The case went cold. For Carla's family and her community, the killer's identity remained a mystery for decades. Fast forward to 2018. Detectives Leah Wagner and Jeff Bennett reopened the case. They discovered Carla's clothing had been preserved, including her dress and bra. Those items contained traces of the attacker's DNA. Initial searches in the National Criminal Database failed, no match. Then came forensic genetic genealogy. In 2019, detectives partnered with a lab called Othram to build a DNA profile from the degraded sample. Genealogists traced the profile to a family named McCurley. Among the siblings was the same, Glen McCurley, questioned in 1974. Investigators set up surveillance and collected his DNA from discarded items. The match was conclusive. After 46 years, they had their suspect. On September 21, 2020, 77-year-old Glen McCurley was arrested and charged with capital murder. Confronted with the DNA evidence, he first denied involvement. He then provided a fresh cheek swab that matched the crime scene DNA again. In an interrogation, he finally broke down. "I did do it, I guess," he confessed. He said he had been drunk and looking for a victim. He admitted choking Carla to death. In August 2021, McCurley went to trial. Prosecutors presented the DNA match and the magazine clip found at the scene. They even found the very .22 Ruger magazine hidden in his home and a newspaper clipping about Carla's case among his possessions. On the 3rd day of trial, McCurley changed his plea to guilty. The judge sentenced him to life in prison. He showed little remorse and later died in custody in July 2023. For Carla's family, justice finally arrived. Her brother Jim, who was only 12 when she died, said it felt like a light in the darkness. Rodney McCoy, free from suspicion and survivor's guilt, said it was time to heal. Carla's case also inspired the Carla Walker Act introduced in Congress in 2024. The bill funds advanced DNA testing for cold cases nationwide. Carla Walker's story shows the power of persistence and modern science. A life stolen in 1974 led to justice nearly 50 years later. Here on Dropping the Tea, we remember Carla's voice and celebrate the breakthrough that finally spoke her name. Thanks for listening. I'm Kirsty. Stay curious and stay tuned for more of the tea.